Hello, my viewers. Today I'm coming to you for the second of Advent with just a few thoughts and just what is going on, checking in with you, and maybe giving you some inspiration for the coming week, for the second of Advent week. I just wanted to share how I feel. I feel like this year has been quite a lot and everything has been going fine. And it's accumulating now, though, as I was decorating for Christmas. It really came up in an emotion where I was thinking, I'm really not ready for Advent because it feels so different this year and so many restrictions, and I can't do this or that. And, you know, normally I have quite a lot of time in the morning to just have quiet and everything. And my children are just being home, and it's fine, and it has been fine. But when I started decorating, actually I kind of like had a panic because everything is so crazy that it wasn't the way that I wanted it to be and planned it to be. And I want to let you know that if you feel that way, or have any other emotions that are coming strongly up, and maybe the expectations of Christmas that will be looking so much different than we think it will be, or it should be, or how things should feel, really, then I want to tell you that you're not alone. Everybody else is probably feeling the same way. We're all having to adjust to this, and God is in the middle of this. It's not that he's surprised by what is happening, or that it came up and he wasn't aware of it, but he is very aware of it. And this time is supposed to be different because we need to start feeling different and doing things differently than we have done things before. It has been working well for us. It hasn't been really working out for us. We really haven't been the people that God wants us to be. So there's kind of like a shaking of things shaking up in us. And it's not that he willed everything to be this way, but he can use this for the good of his loved ones. And he's doing that right now. So when things feel so off and so different, embrace that as something positive, because God is moving in a new way and wants to move in a new way in you and with you. And he wants to change things up. And this is really feeling uncomfortable. We don't, at least I don't like changes. I like traditions. I like to do things the way I've always done them. And this is just not happening this year. And also the ultimatum, we can deal with things if we have like a timeline where we say, okay, this is going to be like the next year or 6 months, but we don't know how long these changes are going to last. And I truly had to think about this too. How was it for people, for example, in World War, where everything was so different as well, and it was a lot more horrific than what we're experiencing now? So they survived, and they had a good Christmas, and they celebrated Christmas, and we can do that as well and enjoy this Advent time. Maybe we feel really lonely, even though we might be surrounded by family, or the children are constantly home. That doesn't mean that you don't feel really fulfilled. You might feel lonely as well, as much as the person that is only by themselves. So there is a longing that is deep in us, embedded in us for God, and this longing and this feeling of loneliness is truly an invitation to seek God further, because he wants to fill us up with all his embrace, with all his goodness and his love, and feel that void that we're feeling this year. And maybe we haven't felt it that obvious before because we have filled it with other things. When everything is going well, we don't miss anything. This year might be so different because truly we're missing something. And there, to me at least, it feels like a deep longing of feeling like it is Advent, the spark, and really longing for this feeling that Advent and Christmas brings. I so much love this Advent time. And knowing that only God can fill this, and He wants to fill it. He doesn't want to leave you void or empty, but He's the one that truly wants to fill you and is able to completely fill you and make you happy. So I want to read to you today from Sister Faustina, who truly went through difficult times, what she is advising, again from her diary of Faustina Kowalska, who has done the Divine Mercy Chaplet and the image of the Divine Mercy of Jesus. And I want to read to you. I got it on my phone, and I really think this is really beautiful and very helpful. How do we handle all the trials? In the midst of her own difficulties, Sister Faustina wrote in her diary, and it's in the passage of 1033. When I see that the burden is beyond my strength, I do not consider or analyze it or probe into it, but I run like a child to the heart of Jesus and say only one word to Him: "You can do all things." And then I keep silent because I know that Jesus Himself will intervene in the matter. And as for me, instead of tormenting myself, I use that time to love Him. So instead of trying to figure out everything yourself, trying to fix the problem, run to Jesus. This is truly, where else would you run? We probably tried it all, to fill that void with something else. Maybe you binge watching Netflix, maybe eating, maybe doing other things. It's not helping. It's not really filling that void. Try this. Why not? What do you have to lose? Try running to God and to Jesus this time, especially when you feel overwhelmed. And then really surrender it and leave it. Now we read in diary passage 957. Saint Faustina knew where to seek consolation. She knew where to find the strength to preserve and continue the difficulty track. She wrote, "When great suffering will cause my nature to tremble and my spiritual and physical strength will diminish, then I will hide myself deep in the open wound of the heart of Jesus, silent as a dove, without a complaint." And we don't have to say anything to God and to Jesus. Sometimes we're just feeling so much pain. We feel faint and worn out from all the trials that we have been going through. You don't have to say anything. You only have to come and sit, maybe just in front of the Holy Eucharist, or maybe just in front of an image of God, image of Jesus, and just draw silent. And maybe your surrounding is not allowing for you a lot of silence. Like, I have hardly any alone time. Actually, now my son is waking up with me at the same time, so I practically have no alone time. There's never alone time. But you have this sanctuary in your heart where Jesus is waiting for you, and it's right inside. And you can, the same as you can be surrounded by people and feel lonely, you can draw yourself into your heart, into the sanctuary, and find and meet Jesus there, and just rest in Him, in God. And she writes in her diary in the passage of 1631, "O wound of mercy, heart of Jesus, hide me in your depth as a drop of your own blood, and do not let me out forever. Lock me in your depths, and do yourself teach me to love you. Eternal love, do you yourself form my soul, so that it may be capable of returning your love." And further she writes in passage 1446, "The Lord said to me, it should be of no concern to you how anybody else acts. You are to be my living reflection through love and mercy. I answered, Lord, but they often take advantage of my goodness. Maybe you feel the same way. How can I not say anything? How can I not tell them that they're wrong or teach them a lesson or, complain? And Jesus answered, that makes no difference, my daughter. That is no concern of yours. As for you, be always merciful towards other people, and especially towards sinners. Isn't that such a beautiful image to think and to go into the next week? To only be responsible for yourself and to draw into your sanctuary. See, we come with all kinds of frustrations and pains and hurts, and we're worn out and tired and frustrated, and we expect other people to come and help us, but they feel the same way, and they have their own burdens. So one person coming with a burden onto another, and then maybe being even upset that that other person cannot fulfill, that void. We have to go to God. We have to go to Jesus. Where else would you go? There is no other place. And that really draw into your sanctuary of your heart. And I have one more passage to read to you, to think and to go into the next week. And I'm finding it here in passage 949. The Lord of God is the flower, mercy is the fruit. Let the doubting soul read these and consider on divine mercy and become trusting. Divine mercy gushing forth from the bosom of the Father, I trust in you. Divine mercy, greatest attribute of God, I trust in you. Divine mercy, incomprehensible mystery, I trust in you. Divine mercy, found gushing forth from the mystery of the most blessed Trinity, I trust in you. Divine mercy, unfathomed by an intellect, human or angelic, I trust in you. Divine mercy from which wells forth all life and happiness, I trust in you. Divine mercy better than the heavens, I trust in you. Divine mercy, source of miracle and wonders, I trust in you. Divine mercy, source of miracle and wonders, I trust in you. Divine mercy, encompassing the whole universe, I trust in you. Divine mercy descending to earth in the person of the incarnate Word, I trust in you. Divine mercy which flowed out from the open wound of the heart of Jesus, I trust in you. Divine mercy enclosed in the heart of Jesus for us, and especially for sinners, I trust in you. Divine mercy unfathomed in the institution of the sacred host, I trust in you. Divine mercy in the founding of the Holy Church, I trust in you. Divine mercy in the sacrament of the Holy Baptism, I trust in you. Divine mercy in your justification through Jesus Christ, I trust in you. Divine mercy accompanying us through our whole life, I trust in you. Divine mercy embracing us, especially at the hour of death, I trust in you. Divine mercy endowed us with immortal life, I trust in you. Divine mercy accompanying us every moment of our life, I trust in you. Divine mercy shielding us from the fires of hell, I trust in you. Divine mercy in the conversion of hardened sinners, I trust in you. Divine mercy astonished for angels and incomprehensible to saints, I trust in you. Divine mercy, unfathomed in all the mysteries of God, I trust in you. Divine mercy, source of our happiness and joy, I trust in you. Divine mercy, lifting us out of every misery, I trust in you. Divine mercy, in calling us forth from nothingness to existence, I trust in you. Divine mercy, embracing all our works, all the works of his hands, I trust in you. Divine mercy, crown of all God's handiwork, I trust in you. Divine mercy, in which we are all immersed, I trust in you. Divine mercy, sweet relief for anguished hearts, I trust in you. Divine mercy, only hope in despairing souls, I trust in you. Divine mercy, reposer of hearts, peace amidst fear, I trust in you. Divine mercy, delight and ecstasies of holy souls, I trust in you. Divine mercy, inspiring hope against all hope, I trust in you. Eternal God, in whom mercy is endless and treasury of compassion inexhaustible, look kindly upon us and increase your mercy in us, that in difficult moments we might not despair, nor become despondent, but with great confidence submit ourselves to your holy will, which is love and mercy in itself. O incomprehensible and limited mercy divine, to exalt and adore you worthy, who can? Supreme attribute of Almighty God, you are the sweet hope for sinful men. Into one hymn yourself unite stars and earth and sea, and in the accord thankfully and fervently sing of the incomprehensible divine mercy. O my Jesus, you see that your holy will is everything to me. It makes no difference to me what you do with me. You command me to set work and begin calmly, although I know that I'm incapable of it. Through your representatives, you order me to wait, so I wait patiently. You fill my soul with enthusiasm, but you do not make it possible for me to act. You attract me to yourself in heaven, and you leave me in this world. You pour into my soul a great yearning for yourself, and you hide yourself from me. I'm dying of the desire to be united with you forever, and you do not let death come near me. O will of God, you are the nourishment and delight of my soul. When I submit to the holy will of my God, a deep peace floods my soul. O my Jesus, you do not give a reward for the successful performance of a work, but for the goodwill and the labor undertaken. Therefore, I'm completely at peace, even if all my undertakings' effort should be dwarfed or should be to naught. If I do all that is in my power, the rest is not my business, and therefore the greatest storms do not disturb the depth of my peace. The will of God dwells in my conscience. You can pray this truly with me, and I can only say amen to that. And that my peace and my will and my trust on the mercy of God will increase. And maybe some of these things that I read made you feel like that's not true for me, or this was not true for me, or you don't feel like that. When I read all these things and saying them, I trust in you. And these are the things where you can truly find where your heart is aching, where you might have to submit and drop to Jesus everything that is hurting you and holding you back. How did these things make you feel? And could you truly say, I trust in you, divine mercy, in everything that is going on around me and with me? Can you truly say, I trust in you? I trust in the divine mercy in the midst of the storm. And I have peace no matter what the outcome of my work is. I do as much as I can, and the rest I leave up to God. And if you don't feel that way, don't feel bad. We all have moments where we feel maybe more that way. Those are the times where we feel strong and good. But the times that we feel weak and not good enough and feel such a void or feel so lonely and an ache in our heart, this is the most precious time, because God can do the most through us. Because through your weakness, He can be so strong. If you hold up yourself, He cannot do much. Most of the time, He's waiting for you to finally come to terms where you surrender it all because you can't do it anymore. And I hope, I don't want you to feel down, but I want you to surrender it all and come to that place. And come to the healing place where you can say truly, divine mercy, I trust in you. I trust in you, O God, in Jesus, that you have the best in mind for me. No matter what I'm going through, I know it will work out for the best for me and for my family and for the loved ones around me. And I hope this was a message of hope for you, and you will take this into your next week. Maybe meditate over this, maybe think of this, maybe listen to these things again about the divine mercy and the proclamation that I trust in you. And if you cannot say that with conviction, then proclaim it over your life. Say, I trust in you, to make it your reality. And God is waiting for you to just open your heart and to come to Him, because He truly wants to heal you. I wish you a beautiful, happy second Advent, and I hope that you have a wonderful, blessed week. May God bless you.